Hello, this is Mark. I work at one of the Apple retail stores in Thailand, and I just wanted to say welcome back to my programs. Lots of people kept asking me about how they're gonna continue to use their existing applications on Mac. As I've said earlier, according to my prior videos, firstly, for instance, you've been using AutoCAD on PC and you wanted to move to Mac. I said we got three choices. The first category is you have to search for the AutoCAD for Mac, which is not available. So secondly, of course you couldn't find the AutoCAD on Mac. You try something pretty much the same but slightly different like Vectorworks or ArchiCAD. But it seems like okay, you don't like these two so much. You really like something pretty much the same as the thing you've been doing all your life. So you want AutoCAD, the real AutoCAD on Windows. So you got the last option, which is you have to install Windows on your Mac. So in order to install Windows on your Mac, you have two choices. First, you have to use the included applications called Bootcamp Assistant. Bootcamp is a part of Mac OS. If you have Leopard or Snow Leopard, you already got the Bootcamps on your Mac. Bootcamp allows you to install Windows on your Mac. Okay? And secondly, we call them virtual PC applications. In the world, there are only two most preferred among Mac users. Firstly, we call Parallel Desktop. And secondly, it's called VMware Fusions. So, firstly, let me discuss about the Bootcamp first. Bootcamp allows you to install Windows on your Mac, but you have to choose whether to use the Mac or Windows only one at a time. You cannot use them simultaneously at the same time. You can't do that. Okay? In order to install Bootcamp, Windows is very easy. Okay, I'm going to show you according to this video capture screen. So first you have to go to Finder and then you go to Bootcamp. Then you select Bootcamp and Bootcamp will ask you to divide this computer into two computers. So we have to divide a hard drive. So one will be for Mac, another one will be for Windows. So this time you have to determine the ratio, whether 70 and 30 or 60-40. You have to choose the ratio by yourself. And these ratios cannot be changed easily. So in order to make the decisions about these figures, you have to be very careful. You can change the ratio later on, but you might have to reinstall the window all over again. Okay? So after you have successfully determined the ratio and then you click partitions. So after your Mac has been successfully partitioned your hard drive into two categories. First we call Mac and Windows. There is another button appears at the on-screen instructions called Start Installations. And this time you can just pop in your Windows CD. You have to be careful, okay? I will not try to convince or persuade you to install any specific Windows because it's from Microsoft. It's not from Apple, which is my company. I'm representing Apple. But I would say from my 5-year experience, if you're not so serious about get the most out of your Windows, probably you want just to, of course, like if you want to play games on your Mac, right? But those games, they are for PC. So firstly, you have to install Windows first. I suggest the most stable, from my opinions, that will take as less resources as possible from your computer. That's the Windows XP. Don't use the Vista or the Windows 7. Okay? Just only use the Windows XP Home Edition. It's fine for personal use. Okay? After you have successfully install Windows onto your Mac, it's going to be much easier for me to explain. So, how I'm going to use Windows. You're going to ask me. Firstly, it's very easy. Just restart your computer. While the computer is restarting, just press and hold the option button, and then you will see two hard drives appears on the screen. Okay? Just choose the arrow keys to select whether Mac or Windows. And then, for instance, you select Windows and press Enter, you get to Windows. That's it. That's the way it is. You get to your Windows. Very easy. On your Mac, you got two hard drives. So you might want to ask me about, can I drag my files across between each others, between Mac hard drive and Windows hard drive? So let me get this straight. You have a number of options to do this. Firstly, Mac hard drive we call FAT32 and Windows hard drive we call NTFS, am I right? But during the transference process, while you're trying to determine the ratios of Mac and Windows, you can see the button say divide only 32 gig, right? If you divide the hard drive and you give the Windows only 32 gig, your computers will allow that 32 gigs of hard drive to be FAT32 too. Or secondly, you need an additional applications. For instance, Windows hard drive with NTFS. So if you want your Mac to get some file from that hard drive, that's fine. You can just drag the file from that hard drive. But it won't allow you to write anything in. So what can you do? There is a very nice and free application called 3G NTFS, which is available on the internet. Okay, there's another one in my mind which is very good, but I will not suggest that because you have to buy. Okay, I'm going to give you something that's very free and you can get that legally from the internet. And secondly, you're on Windows and then you want to drag something from Mac, that's fine, you can do that. But if you want to write something onto a Mac hard drive, which is, I don't think you should do that because no point for that. You can go from Mac's platform and to write that file. But of course, if you want to do that, it's really got an extra hard drive. There's an application called Mac Drive. But for I know it's not free, but I got no choice. That, I think, is the best on the range right now in order to do that. So, firstly, make the decision. You have to define yourself. What exactly you're going to know yourself first, who you really is. You're going to firstly define yourself. What exactly you want to, how do you plan on using your computer for? I mean, at first, as I said a million times, first, before you buy a computer, you're going to keep asking yourself, firstly, do I really have to carry this around on the road, or you just want something to sit on your table? This is very important because lots of people just tend to buy a laptop because they just want to follow their peers, their friends, their cousins, their relatives, whatever. Sometimes people buy a laptop, but they would never carry laptops around. So it's a waste because if you buy pretty much the same amount of money, you go for an entry level of the MacBook and go for entry level of the iMac, you got almost double the capacity for the overall specifications. So that's the bottom line. So Bootcamp is pretty good, okay? So don't worry about that. But by the way, almost forget, this is most important things, and this is very important. Don't forget, okay, you have updated to Bootcamp, you install Windows, all that stuff. You go to Google and type Bootcamp Update 3.1. That's the latest version of Bootcamp. Try that. Okay? I know it's going to help you with something. Of course, you buy the Magic Mouse. You know that? You buy the Apple Magic Mouse, the wireless Bluetooth one. You still need an update for that. You have to type in Google Magic Mouse drivers 1.0. Or you cannot zoom over all screens. That's the point. Okay? I'll be finished with these clips right now. I'm going to start to continue my clips later on with more detail about how to use Windows and Mac at the same time simultaneously. I'll be back.